I wanted to talk to you about this month's rent. I was wondering if we could sort out some sort of arrangement.
This is pornography, but not just any pornography. It is property pornography. Not the hackneyed neologism that estate agents use, actual hardcore pornography, aimed at middle-aged men who own ex-council flats in Bristol and want to fuck their tenants who can't afford the rent. But this psychosexual fantasy for Generation X reflects a harsh reality for millennials. My name is Blindboy Boat Club and I'm a grown man who wears a plastic bag on his head. Our generation has been ridden up the hoop without a Johnny. Environment, work, politics and especially housing. This scrapyard behind me is a visual metaphor which enhances the seriousness of my words. I'm going to find out why we're getting fucked, who's fucking us and what aftershave they're wearing. First up, housing. What happened that made our generation think it was okay to suck flute for rent? Myself and a team of qualified investigators are looking at the feckin' idiots that make it impossible for us to live. We're starting at the very bottom of the arse barrel with some curly perverts who want sex for rent.
You would have to sleep with me in my bed.
Am I gonna get this a good blowjob?
We'll give these lads a taste of their own perverted medicine.
If you were naughty, you would have to be spanked.
Then we'll expose the snaky tactics of dodgy rental agencies and defile their gaffes.
I was scared. It was an illegal eviction.
We're going undercover to expose the big-time Charlies who manipulate the system to avoid building social housing.
They know all the people in the council, so when we come in and say we don't want that, they don't put it in.
Then we go to the very top, the global kleptocracy. Ooh.
Oh, what are you doing?
It's my landlord, the trout of no crack.
Are you ratting me out?
He's an absolute prick.
Are you telling him about me editing myself into Saving Private Ryan? You're gonna tell him about my tarmacking scam?
I'm making a film for the BBC.
You absolute traitor, man. Working with the Brits, I can't...
Oh, man, you can't be saying that, please.
They'll be straight over on ships, taking all the potatoes out of our mouths again.
You can't be talking like that. It's 2018. We've moved on. It's about housing and inequality, injustice. That type of stuff, you know?
Stop talking, because you're boring me. Duh!
Now, the old lads and the clickbait right-wing media says the reason that we never have a gaff is because we spent all our yo-yos scraping avocados off lumps of toast. But it's not. Ye got to buy a council house for 3 shillings and 20 ratmans and then voted to stop building council houses. Ye paid £2 a week into your pensions, but are so healthy you'll live to be 95 and we'll have to pay for you. And we have to pay you rent because ye own all the gaps. And we just take it. Because we don't think we deserve any better, that we're not worth nothing. And when you think that little yourself, you start to ponder, maybe, just maybe, that licking the back of some lad's salty sack is an okay trade for a place to stay.
Free room available for a female only. That means no guys.
These are sex for rent ads.
Looking for a slim, submissive houseboy for a female in their teens.
They're from every part of the country.
You can be unemployed, single mum, kids are okay to stay too.
And they're not hidden, they're on Craigslist beside second-hand head trimmers and Eurovision memorabilia.
Now the catch, lol. You will clean, cook and provide sexual services in return for free accommodation. Meals included. I have a preference for women with a submissive streak. Duh!
And has a high sex drive.
Send photos of yourself in your reply. Oh.
Posing as teenager Fintan from Ireland and young woman Janie, who needed places to stay. I wanted to see what some of these filthy customers would agree to do for a damn handshake. Turns out the answer was absolutely anything.
Hello? I saw your mail on Craigslist.
Oh, yeah. The thing is that I need someone staying with me in my bed.
So I would have to sleep in your bed.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. But I have 3 dogs.
Oh, dogs. I can't arrange it with my landlady.
We could disguise the dogs so they look more like cats, or even maybe make the dog look like a loaf of bread.
Yeah,
But the thing is, the dogs are not washed and they're very dirty.
yeah.
If I have sex with you, would you wash my dogs?
Say it again.
I have 3 dogs and they're very dirty. Would you help me to wash the dogs?
Oh, yeah, I can try. How big are they?
They're small dogs, but they're filthy. If I'm in bed with you, is it okay if the dogs are also in the same room?
Yes, of course.
Because sometimes, even if I'm having sex, the dogs would be all over the bed. Is that okay?
Yeah.
But they're dirty, they're so filthy.
Yeah.
They're small dogs, but they're fucking stinking, I swear to God, I swear in the holy picture.
I mean, do you want to just come around and have a look?
Could I get it on the chub?
On the what?
The chub.
What's that?
It's like a train, but it goes underneath London.
Ah, the tube. Yeah.
I thought it was called the chub.
No problem.
Thank you
Do
very
you want
much.
me to give you my address?
Text me at this number.
Okay, do you? Okay, bye-bye.
Next up was John, who's a self-confessed coffin dodger. He'd been emailing Fintan. His messages changed from aggressively sexual to just aggressive. This conversation made me feel dirty on a quantum level. Hello, is this John?
Yes.
This is Fintan. I was talking to you on the internet the other day.
Yes.
So, what exactly is the arrangement that you want?
But look, I'm unsure what you're looking for.
Look, let's cut to the chase, John. What do you expect from me for the room?
Just to be a nice person, and from time to time, be kind to me, if you know what I mean.
I understand exactly what you mean. I have a particular military fetish.
I understand. I actually like my boy to wear pretty silk lace underwear.
Okay, I can do that. Could we compromise on the fetish, so maybe I'll wear the lacy underwear on a Monday and maybe on a Tuesday you would dress up maybe as a general and I dress up as a squaddy?
Oh,
That gets me off.
that's good.
Would you be interested in dressing up as like weaponry, like a Prussian cannon?
Yeah, why not?
And like, could I dress up as the Pacific theatre of conflict in World War II and you dress up as a combination of both the Axis and Allied powers? You would do that.
We could have fun like that.
And what would you like to do to me?
To be truthful, if you were naughty, you would have to be spanked.
I like being spanked, but could we do it in the context of maybe future wars or weaponry that hasn't been invented yet? Rail guns or laser cannons?
Do you have a nice deep throat?
I have a very deep throat. I like to take it until I gag, but while I am gagging, I like to imagine that the other man's penis is actually a World War I gas mask and that the reason that I am gagging is because of mustard gas and not because of another man's penis. That really gets me off.
I understand. Point of interest. Do your family know where you are?
Oh yeah, they do.
Right, the thing is, this line that I'm speaking to you on, I've actually got international telephone calls for free on it.
Holy moly. I can ring the Republic of Ireland?
Yes.
Wow. We wanted to meet a real-life scum puppet who preys on the vulnerable in exchange for room and board, so we sent out an actress to play the part. There's nothing there. It's we're in a garage in Lewisham. There's nothing. Move it. Not even a TV or a link. I'm just talking out of my hoop. Entertainment. Our actress, fake desperate person and real-life hero Kira went to meet them. Her job was to get these sludgy fuck ducks list of sexual demands, then turn that energy right back at them, like Christ in lingerie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you?
How's everything?
Yeah, okay, thanks. Oh, you're a musician?
Yeah.
Wow.
You look like a nice looking girl.
Uh-huh.
Is anyone kicking you out for any reason? Is there
Oh no,
so?
I've been staying on my friend's sofas and stuff. I feel like I can't even do any hobbies. I can't even watch The Lion King or anything.
Oh boy. When I first came to London, I had to switch off myself. So I really understand when somebody doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit tricky, me looking for sex in return, but obviously I can't just give my place for free because I'm not a charity.
Right, okay. Will I get my own room or... Okay, so what's the situation?
That's the The weird thing, you would have to sleep with me in my bed.
Am I gonna go get used to good blowjob?
Doggy style.
Doggy style.
Like from the back, from the side, whatever.
I wish I could just go somewhere and just check out your bum. Yeah?
You said you like a big bum.
Not to take anything off.
Yeah, just to show you. You like big bums, yeah? But I could always eat things like, you know, donuts,
Make yourself bigger.
potato dauphinoise,
Okay.
cakes, chicken Kiev, but not the reduced fat one.
Can I give you a kiss?
No.
Now that we heard their demands, it was time to start getting odd.
You've got really kind eyes.
I'm a kind person.
I kind of see it as like a life hack. If there's an opportunity to take advantage of, you should take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Do you like taking advantage?
Oh, for opportunities?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a good opportunity.
I've got a couple of things that I just want to put to you.
Just keep your voice down so that people are not listening.
Yeah, I guess I sometimes need people to help me out with my voice warm-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you join in with me?
No, not now.
Every breath you take, every move you make.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
Yeah.
Every step you take,
Yeah.
I'll be.
Watching you.
Wait, bit more. Can't you see?
Okay, should we? Because I'm actually in the meet gonna be.
You belong to me. Do a monkey sound. Go on. Put your hands up. Stand out.
No, I can't do that. No, I promise you, I can't do it.
Do you know what night terrors are? Sometimes I move my body like quite a lot.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, we moved away.
Kira never heard from those slime bishops again. During World War II, Britain got a most unmerciful walloping off the Germans. Demoralised and in shock, the post-war British government became overwhelmed with new emotion. It grew its hair long and became comfortable with crying in public places. It started doing hash. Workers were paid if they became sick. The National Health Service was born, and massive social housing was rolled out. Council houses weren't seen as a last resort, but rather a fundamental human right for all. How fucking depressing is it that it took a Hitler for Britain to try kindness and social equality? But of course, this brief utopia wanked itself raw by the mid-70s. A global oil crisis gave the economy a bad haircut. So in steps Maggie Thatcher. Snaky Maggie shut down the unions, paved the way for privatisation of essential industries, and created a temporary solution to the poor and unemployed by offering them the ability to purchase their council houses for next to nothing. She didn't replace the council houses with new ones though, and neither did any other successive Prime Minister. This is why Hackney is full of wankers called Tristan. And instead of getting a council house, you're renting from a private landlord. Landlords who get up to shit like this.
The bathroom didn't work.
There's no carpet in the stairs and upstairs.
There was only one shower between the 8 of us.
When it was raining outside, it was leaking into my bedroom.
They were all ripped off by an Edinburgh criminal who pretends his tenements are holiday lets so that he can legally evict people and steal their money.
I had an email saying you'd come in and dispose of my stuff.
It was an illegal eviction. I was scared.
I had to go to the council and they put me up in a homeless hostel.
In the last decade, council cuts, a massive housing shortage, and the anonymity of the internet have led to a golden age of scamming bastards. Holiday lets, fake estate agents, illegal subletting, doctored photos and dodgy clubs. And we think we found the worst one of all. Oh, like the sound of this music. Very friendly, feels me with no sense of trust.
Welcome to life in London and to your new flat. I hope that you enjoy your stay in the capital.
There was a big hole in the wardrobe.
The light switch was outside from the room.
The wall was destroyed.
And we were actually very scared because this wasn't too much late after the Grenfell Tower.
Welcome to Lifestyle Club London, aka London Fox Lettings, aka something else next week.
When the situation gets heated up, they just change the name.
And they open a new company with the same flat and they do the same thing again and again and again.
So here's how the scheme works. First they advertise lovely palatial rooms for dirt cheap rent. But when you contact them to inquire about the room you saw online, quite conveniently, it's already gone. But they have some other lovely places if only you were a member.
The membership was around £300.
£200 just to join.
Then they show you photographs of another room that looks class, but they won't let you view it. No, you have to front up a month's rent and a deposit.
Sorry, another membership charge and sign a tenancy. Sorry, club contract before you even see the place.
I paid £300 as a deposit plus £650 per rent.
I paid in total in the first meeting around £1,300.
And then, after pulling all of that cash out of your hoop, you finally get the keys.
But the place doesn't look like the photos. It looks like a shopping trolley full of Jack Russells with unwiped arses. So you complain, but the contract you signed sends you to a website with 14 pages of hidden conditions designed to bamboozle you, avoid landlord responsibilities and empty your aching pockets. Holy moly.
They are trying to take all the deposit.
I never got anything back.
These dirty prey on young, wide-eyed, inexperienced foreigners.
So we sent our young, foreign, wide-eyed actress Alicia to pay him a visit with a hidden camera, pretending to be new in London. They brought her in.
Where are you from?
Holland.
So you need a room?
Yes.
Showed her photos, started flirting with her, demanded a membership fee.
Membership fee is $5.20.
Told her she couldn't see the place, took all her cash, then flirted with her again.
Your English is pretty good.
Sent her to the ATM to get even more money, made her sign a ridiculous contract, and finally gave her the keys.
So that is the key.
Lifestyle Club London is the perfect lifestyle for you if you like living in an utter shitbox. They prey on the young, the vulnerable and the foreign, and their shit contracts are full of hidden charges. What I'm going to do is systematically dissect this contract by clause. Only joking, we're gonna play the hidden charges game show! Hidden charges game show! Hidden charges game show! Hidden charges game show! Game show! Let's meet the contestants.
My name is Sasha. I am hoping to have successful business in UK with an expensive car and also many girlfriends.
Oh, Sasha, you character.
Hi, I'm Alicia and I'm 25. I've moved to London to become a billionaire or not fixed to death.
Calm down, you silly bint. The game begins when two innocent new tenants move in. This is the actual gaff they rented, Alicia. It really is this shit. We haven't done a single thing to make it look bad, apart from the goat. Excited to see her new room, Alicia latches the key into the lock. The key breaks before she even gets in. £50 fine. Sasha awakes but doesn't make his bed. He's a full-blown adult. But under these rules, if you don't make your bed, get the F out, mister. Alicia, worried that she's sharing with 10 other lads, puts a lock on the door, forgets to give the club the code, but she's no right to privacy, so that's £50 charge. Oh, they're racking up the charges like a child on Candy Crush. Let's go for round 2. Due to being treated as subhuman, someone squatted out a big dirty gogs in the communal sink, so everyone gets fined, like in prison. Gorgeous Sasha's caught bed bugs from the manky mattress. That's a fine. Alicia, desperately hanging on to a relationship, has a guest over 3 weekends, but she forgets to ask for written permission. That's an unlicensed guest fine. Her girlfriend leaves her. As the fines increase and the mental health degenerates, let's check on the scores and then head to round 3. Quick fire fuckery. Alicia's window's broken, so she texts the club, but gets fined for contacting them out of hours, cause they're pricks. Sasha's moribund tears break his phone, forgets to update Lifestyle Club, fine. Depressed Alicia forgets to pay her rent for a week, 7 separate fines. Oh, an orgy without written permission, fine. Unlicensed goat, fine. Electrics, charge. Mold, charge. Curtains, charge. Blow heater, fine. Broken toilet, charge. Not our problem, your problem, ye ghouls. So as we enter our final round, who gives a fuck? They both just need to get out of here. Sasha tries to move out during the summer. That's a £100 out of season fee. He doesn't care. He'll pay anything to get out of this shitbox. Alicia tries to leave in December. Boom. £200 out of season fee. Not able to afford it, she stays in the room and freezes to death. Oh no! Her corpse is blocking the door and racking up the fines. The irony. This is life in 2018. We have a winner! Satire. The shambling fart dartboard that is Lifestyle Club London will probably close down and reopen under another name. But if you want to avoid their sneaky contracts, ridiculous charges, dirty sphincter apartments and deposit-stealing ways, remember, never sign a contract that denies you tenants' rights. Don't pay before you see a room, and always check for snaky hidden charges. And this is what Lifestyle Club had to say.
Some of London Fox's property portfolio was sold to Lifestyle Club solely for commercial reasons. Our club concept has been subject to all the relevant checks by trading standards. We deny using misleading advertising or hidden charges. We do not charge deposits. The closest thing to a deposit would be our membership fee. Our customers include people who cannot provide any credit history, with the majority of properties let out below market value.
Lifestyle Club has taken advantage of those who barely have the money to rent. But what happens if you can't even afford that?
Fucking hell.
Right, geezer.
Jesus Christ almighty.
It's an actual wardrobe. You're living in an actual cupboard. It's an actual shipping container. Fuck me. This is insane, man. You live like this. It's a refrigerated shipping container.
James, we are not in a hamlet in the woods. We're in a fucking van in a car park at the back of an industrial estate.
What are the biggest stressors for you living somewhere like this?
I guess obviously there's a box that you're living in. Obviously I go out and about every day to kind of keep sane. It's just depressing, I guess.
You don't mind kind of living in this small space with a laptop and a bin. Are you happy living in a cupboard, man?
For the time being, there will one day be the time where I choose to exist maybe in a closet, walk-in wardrobe. For the time being, the cupboard will have to do, yeah.
Essentially, you're in a van. And
You're just on a knife edge. That's the problem.
yeah. How long more is this sustainable for you as a lifestyle?
I mean, it's been 2 years now, so I feel like I'm probably coming to the end of it.
You know, you have the amenities to live, but you do not psychologically have a home.
No.
Why are all these people here? After selling all the council houses for votes, the government realised that they needed somewhere to put all the poor people, but they didn't want to build council houses. That sounds too much like socialism. So they leave it to the market to do it. Section 106.
Section 106 is a planning obligation that was brought in by the Tories 30 years ago to privatise the construction of council houses. Basically, if you build private housing, a certain percentage of that housing must be affordable.
Very quickly, the developers started to work out legal ways to dodge Section 106. They exploit government loopholes like giving the council secret viability studies that say they won't make enough profit if they build social houses or even bus stops. Meanwhile, councillors across the country are working as paid consultants to developers. And guess what? Feck all affordable houses are being built. This is Fred Dunn. He's the most British billionaire ever. Here he is being a no-nonsense, take it as I see it, straight-talking businessman man.
I'm an old-fashioned businessman that does deals on handshakes.
If you listen to bureaucrats throughout the world, you don't do anything. 2 fingers up to the bureaucrats.
He founded his betting shop, Betfred, on winnings from England's victory in the World Cup of 1966.
These days he doesn't just cater to people's delightful gambling habits though.
He also builds houses, mainly in Salford. He's a local boy and proud, called his building company Salby.
That company now builds massive luxury apartment blocks in Salford, but they're not really meant for Manx. Take it away, Qatar lady!
يسعدنا استضافتكم في جسر ريال استيت يومي الثلاثاء والأربعاء لتدشين أحدث مشروع استثماري بأعلى عائد في مدينة مانشستر.
When it comes to social housing, there's none. Fred gets around his obligations with secretive viability assessments. But is there more to it than that? Well, we're gonna head up to Salford to find out. But surprise, surprise, his big launch was in a swanky hotel in Mayfair.
So we sent our undercover upper-class reporter Tarquin
to see what he could find out. Turns out he didn't have to dig too deep at all. Certain people were dropping hints about how Fred Dunn keeps his swanky real estate free from smelly poor people.
We have a long-established relationship with Manchester and Salford Council.
Oh, let's hear more.
We have many other businesses in Manchester. Fred owns most of Manchester.
Take off my bra, what are you hinting at?
What's the position in respect to social housing and that sort of thing? I mean, is there... No.
Fred and Simon, yeah, they're both from Manchester, so they know all the people in the council. Right. They also give a lot back to the community.
Sorry, what news?
The councillors gives a lot back to the community. Right. So when we come in and say we don't want that, they don't.
Fred knows everyone on the council. He gives a lot back to the community. So when we come in and say we don't want that, well...
Traditionally, it's been a very poor area of the city.
Yes.
So the council don't want social housing or affordable housing in there. They want to gentrify it. They want high quality.
That's feckin' strange. The council is supposed to be encouraging social housing, not social cleansing. But sure, look, what's a homeless crisis between pals?
No social stuff, it's just...
Nothing in any of... We're trying to build a brand. We're a new development.
Right.
So they want to...
And the branding.
We want to be known for quality.
No social housing because we are trying to build a brand. I didn't realise you had a choice.
I mean, if you're the richest man in Manchester, so...
Is he? Right.
So it's, quite...
I it sounds like he owns half of it.
Thanks for coming, yeah?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Good.
Fred didn't build any social housing. He refused to even build a bus stop when they asked. And his business development manager said he got out of it because he's mates with the council, owns half of Manchester, and what Fred doesn't want, Fred doesn't have to do. This is not how it's supposed to work. There are 85,000 households on the housing list in Manchester. This is not how it's supposed to work. Salford Council don't want to build any social accommodation because they want to gentrify it. This is not how it's supposed to work. Salboy doesn't want to build any social accommodation because they're trying to build a brand. This isn't how it's supposed to work. And Fred Dunn knows everybody on the council. This isn't how it's supposed to work. And this is what the council have to say.
Salford Council have an excellent track record on Section 106. The Salboy development on Blackfriars is subject to a clawback arrangement. Any money gained can be put to use on off-site, affordable and social housing. It is nonsense to say that Salford Council is seeking gentrification. The problem is with national legislation. If a developer is able to convincingly claim that the contributions to Section 106 compromise the viability of their site, then the council cannot enforce Section 106.
Well, Fred doesn't want to build houses for the poor, but he does want to take their money in betting shops. So we decided to see if he'd take some bets on himself.
Look, let's put a bet on homeless deaths in Salford.
Can I make a bet on whether Salboy will ever build social housing? Salboy.
So can I put a bet on if the guy who owns this place will ever build affordable housing? I think the odds could be quite good in my favour.
The person that owns this place, Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a customer here. She wants to make a bet on your Fred Dunn to build affordable housing.
In Salford, yeah.
Salford.
We make social housing.
Social housing.
No, we are not. Okay, well, no, we are not.
Fred in Salford won't build social housing, and now he won't even take our bets. But who cares, because no matter what, Fred always wins. And this is what Salboy had to say.
All our developments have been passed by Salford City Council, and we are providing investment not only with development, but new jobs. We have moved a bus stop to aid construction, and it will move back to its former position when work is complete. In the sales presentation attended by this programme, views were presented which are certainly not representative of the views of Fred Dunn or Salboy. We will launch a full investigation. Specifically, on the allegation about lack of affordable housing at Trinity, we would refer you to the S106 agreement put in place between the landowners and Salford Council, available on their website.
This is clearly a very serious issue.
And that's why I voted for Brexit.
But you're an immigrant.
I'm the right kind of immigrant. We Irish built this city. We never caused any troubles. Not like the real immigrants nowadays.
Jesus Christ, man, you've got the memory of a fish.
The refugees. They're bringing their problems here. That's why you can't get a house.
Corrupt officials from those countries are taking advantage of destabilisation and stealing their people's money, hiding it in London property while the West turns a blind eye, contributing to emigration there and the housing crisis in Britain. The rich are turning two separate groups of poor people against each other to distract from their own corruption.
That sounds like Marxism. Fuck off to Cuba, Jeremy Corbyn.
He's going to make shit of this documentary. The practice of inserting an ecstasy tablet up one's rectum is known as shelving. It results in an intense and uncontrolled rush for all but the most experienced users. Property investors insert money up the rectum of society in a similar fashion. Shelving ecstasy releases all of the brain's serotonin at once. You experience a pleasure bubble. When all this serotonin in your brain is released, your pleasure bubble bursts and you experience a harrowing come down. When investment drives an unrealistic property bubble, it bursts and the economy has a come down. Now, imagine you could take ecstasy, but someone else experiences the come down. This is precisely what happened during the economic crash of 2008. The banks gave loans to investors who they knew couldn't pay them back, so the world economy crashed. Individual countries asked their citizens to save the banks through austerity taxes. But instead of using that housing for the poor, governments sold it at incredibly cheap prices to vulture funds. This is why young people are stuck in a very vicious rental market. Another beneficiary of this cheap bailout property are criminals. In Britain, 100,000 properties have offshore owners. It's highly suspected that a significant amount of this is money laundering from criminal organisations in places like Russia and Kazakhstan who are involved in the drug trade and sex trafficking. This new system means less property to rent, less property to buy, homelessness and a housing crisis. Can you blame us for shoving ecstasy up our arses?
Britain! God's porridge, the dunce's puddle, Cromwell's ointment, Jeffrey Archer's far-fetched car park.
Now, London might look like a city, but it's not a city anymore. Think of it like a big bank where international criminals stash their dirty money. And I'm not even in London because this is a green screen, because it's too cold outside, and fuck that. We're here in Lowndes Square. Global Witness has revealed to us that this is Britain's most secret street, with 40% of the gaffes owned by anonymous shell companies that could be hiding anything. So what does the end result of prostitution, drug dealing, people smuggling and murder look like? It looks like this swanky square. That could be dirty money. That car could be dirty money. That man there could be dirty money. This area is 2 minutes down the road from Harvey Nichols, where they have Rihanna's new line of makeup. Dirty money, dirty building, dirty fire. And so, who cares? What's that got to do with you not being able to live somewhere decent? Because it's not just London. It's Salford, Birmingham, Edinburgh, Swansea. Every time Fred Dunn builds millionaire gaffes for offshore owners and not for families in Salford, and the council can't stop him from dodging social housing responsibilities, every time a council house is sold and another one not built, that's one less house for you. So that means more and more millennials find themselves in a van, in a box, in a shithole with no locks, on a mattress, on the street, on their backs or on their knees. In a van, in a box, in a shithole with no locks, on a mattress, on the street, on their backs or on their knees. Satire, satire, musical satire.
What are you doing?
I'm dropping some hot takes.
You can't solve the housing crisis because you're a fool who wears a bag in his head.
Well, I've solved one housing crisis. The BBC have paid me enough so I don't have to rent from you anymore.
Oh man, no, don't be fighting, don't go.
Yeah, I can't stay mad at you.
Do you know what? Let's go to the Wax Museum. I'll spill some Fanta beside Lady Gaga. You fall over and we'll both get it clear.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, that sounds nice, doesn't it?